I'm so excited to be here with some of the No More Under team. It's crazy that it's the holiday season and almost the end of the year. And as we were talking about what we were going to do this month for our Learn More series, we decided to learn more about No More Under and do a year-end wrap. So I guess I will kick it off. I'm Shazik, the founder, and I'm here with
I am Tash, the program director.
And I'm Brandon Anthony, the director of social media.
Awesome. I'm so excited for you all to be here. And I think one of my most exciting things this year was the fact that we were able to bring Tosh on full time. I'm pretty sure we've hit a year. And I'm sorry I didn't do like a big blowout party or anything. It is interesting since you're in um, the Denver area. It's been awesome though, working with you, and having you on full time has been beyond incredible. I can't share here and in words really like all that you've brought to No More Under and really supporting all of our programming and getting these kids in the water. So Tosh, what's it like for you what was the switch like going from, kind of part-time to full-time?
It was awesome. The switch just meant that I was able to focus so much more into our programs, and building the swimming programs is obviously the main thing that I do for the team. We all wear lots of hats, but building the swimming programs is my main focus, and just seeing the amount of growth that we've been able to have, which our growth means more impact for more youth. So it's been amazing. We've already got so many programs scheduled for next year, and I can't wait for the new year to roll around so we can continue helping more of the community, not only in Seattle, but expanding to Denver. And that definitely comes from being full-time, having the capacity and time to really commit to this and just see how big we can and successful we can get this program, helping as many people as possible. But I mean, it's just been all amazing. Like if I talk about it too much, I'll probably start crying. But
Well, Tosh, what is it? You set up programs for almost 200 kids this year.
Yeah, we supported 196 to be specific, 196 youth, and so we're super close to that 200 mark. And next year we're going to way past it. But yeah, it's been amazing. And they started back in March and April, back at our spring break program. That was probably one of my highlights, because not only was it our first program, but I actually got to get in and teach, and having a background in swimming myself and being a previous swim instructor, just being able to engage with the youth and the participants. Obviously, it means a lot when I see their names on the screen or I get feedback from the mums or dads, but actually working with the kids in the water is amazing, and to have that experience within this role is just such a highlight for me, because their joy in the water, not much beats that. It's the engagement, like one-on-one or at the community events. It's the best.
I was really excited that we were able to partner with Tank Proof on that. That was so super cool. Just, it being our first program, and that's something that they do, just being there and getting, I don't know, just their tips and having that energy. So I loved partnering with them on that, as well as, of course, Seattle Parks and Rec. And then Brandon and I were able to go to, was it the Tukwila lessons, Brandon?
Yeah, the Tukwila swim program that we did. Yeah, seeing the kids come out, seeing the parents come out and want to pick up swim lessons and water safety resources and really, become comfortable with the water. It connected with me just because that's an area that I emote with, having been through an experience at Wild Waves where I almost drowned. Having gone through swim lessons, I think 3 times in my youth, and where it finally stuck, I thought that's when, it was going to be, okay, here we go. And then Wild Waves happened. So seeing kids still go through it and seeing the access increase is really great for me to see, just because I know how hard it is and how often kids don't get to partake in something like that, especially kids that look like me.
That's right. And it was so interesting being there, actually, because I remember we discussed it like one of the children that was there, like they didn't want to jump in the deep end, and then like seeing the instructors really like work through it. And then after the, I don't know, second or third lesson, like they were willing to jump in. I think that's what's, I don't know, beautiful to me about being in person. There's something different that you actually pick up. Like, yes, agreed, Tosh, that it's like, yes, there's names and there's, you know, a check. Yes, they showed up, but seeing the children the first day of lessons versus the last day of lessons, and that joy and the excitement, it definitely warms your heart. And it's when you know you're making a difference, like we're making a real difference. That's exciting.
It's
Oh,
fun seeing the work in action and seeing the kids build the trust with the instructors. As you said, when they first come in that first day, and I remember my first days at swim lessons, it's just like, oh my God, I don't want to leave my mom's side, but I got to get in this water and I know I'm going to have fun, versus that very last day where, you know, you have the conversation with the instructor, you're getting in the deep end. It's just like, all right, I'm cool. I got this. So it's exciting to see.
for sure. And also talking about the instructors, like I've been really fortunate after our programs to send out optional surveys to families to fill out. Some of the families really call out the instructors and thank them specifically. And so some of the feedback is so beautiful, where the families are saying like, wow, the instructor was so encouraging, or there's so much great feedback about the instructors helping them work through fear, or being patient, or like pushing them further than they thought their kid could go, but in a safe and controlled environment. And so a favorite experience, we've got all of it was great. Or one of my kids went from nervous not being able to reach the bottom to diving into the deep end on the last day. He has confidence. She was motivated to learn. You know, the water safety on the last day, flipping onto their back, doing a starfish was a favorite experience. We ask families about the financial barrier and the importance of how much of a role that plays in their ability to attend these lessons. And it is large. And we setting out, a big part of this program was to remove the financial barrier. And these comments show that it does matter. It does matter that we're removing this financial barrier. You know, we have one here in all caps. It is important. Many children don't know how to swim because their parents never learned or are terrified. Everyone should be taught the basics when you're around the water, or could not have done them without the price reduction. Here we've got a parent, we worked with Treehouse, a wonderful foster care service in Seattle. And this person said, being a foster parent can be expensive, especially in Seattle. It was awesome to have this experience for free. Or another response, while we could have found a way to do paid lessons, the ability of these certainly made us stop delaying it. And that's a big piece too. Like some families may be able to afford it if they sacrifice other elements, but this brings the swimming to the forefront. Let's stop making excuses, or let's not have to sacrifice another element. Let's get in right now.
Cool too to get these the feedback. I think that's really great, just to be able to see how it's really impacting people. Isabel, I'm so excited that you're here with us. As always, love working with you in the Seattle Children's crew. I just want to say I'm grateful not only just for the Seattle Children's partnership, but also all that you do with like Drowning Prevention Network. I think all of that, you're carrying a lot on your plate. How do you fit it all in?
Thank you. Okay. No, we so appreciate and love working with No More Under and you, Shazak, and your team. Um, I you just kind of make you prioritize what matters most, right? And so this is really important work and worth dedicating some time to, of course. And I feel really inspired and um supported in so many of the organizations that we get to work with who are doing really great work around water safety and drowning prevention, like No More Under. And I think that um, definitely keeps me engaged, keeps me going and motivated. And um, I'm grateful for a lot that's happening right now.
I really loved this last summer being able to all be together at the Odessa Brown. What was that? It was like a grand opening, right?
Yeah, so it was the Odessa Brown Children's Clinic. They just opened their Othello location in South Seattle. And so that was kind of our grand opening, welcoming people to the clinic to tour it. We got to have a focus on injury prevention, which included giving out life jackets and water watcher badges through No More Under, and really great information and resources for families to help them stay safe, especially it was kind of prime right then during the July
That's
timeframe,
right.
you know, lots of warm days and activities in and near the water. So it was wonderful. And I'm so glad you could be there.
Yeah, I appreciated it. And it's so interesting because, again, we really focus on water safety, but you all had helmets out there. You had like, what is it, car seat
Yeah,
information? Like, and yeah, just being a part of that was really beautiful.
thank you.
I think I already told the story when I was like kind of we have a bigger group chat that we're kind of like inserting this into, but I kind of already told the story, but gosh, my favorite part of that was I walked up and I was like kind of sad that I brought life jackets, but then we ended up needing them at the end.
We needed every single one and it was incredible. You totally came in clutch. It was it was incredible. I think I was looking back at that event specifically and I want to say we were able to distribute over 260 life jackets at that event, which was incredible. And definitely thank you to you because there were still families before the event ended who needed life jackets and we ran out. And it was the first event that we had done at that scale in such a long time, like coming out of, um, you know, the pandemic and things like that. And so we didn't really know how receptive it would be and how comfortable coming, but it ended up being way more than we could have ever imagined, which was incredible. So,
Yeah, that line was so cool. Either
yeah.
way, again, I know that you, like I said at the beginning, you juggle so much around injury prevention, and I'm grateful for all you do in the water safety space and just that you consider No More Under when you're doing those things.
So we have Kyle here from the YMCA of Greater Seattle, and we've been working with Kyle all year, really. It
Yeah,
feels like we've been chatting at least over a year now. It's
real.
definitely was in 2021.
We really started in 2020, but because of COVID, so in 2020 we did the life jacket handout. So
Yes.
No More Under donated several hundred life jackets that we were actually able to give out to a lot of our members and communities that were in need. And then 2021 we really started with in water, and then 2022 is kind of like whenever it really took off.
Yes. Oh, so good. And I wasn't part of the team in 2020, but you and I connected last year. Yeah, COVID slowed things down for a hot second last year at the start of this year, but then it went so well. Definitely a highlight for us was the Meredith Matthews YMCA lessons. That was nearly 50 youth supported through swimming lessons, and it ran 8 weeks, I believe,
Yep.
on the weekends, which was super cool. And it's a lot of those families came from Bellwether housing, which is a great organization that you and No More Under, the Y and No More Under, have been well connected with.
We want them to, to get comfortable in the water, learning how to be, have fun with it because, whenever I think of summer, it's the water, the swimming pool is everyone's favorite pastime. And so we also know that it's extremely high risk. So how do we teach them how to be safe and smart around it, but also teach them those safe swimming skills? So we saw lots of smiling faces and lots of giggles.
The day that I was able to visit those Meredith Matthews lessons, I was chatting with one of the mums, and she was saying even the awareness on the pool deck, like not even in the water, but they even helped the mom realize that with the younger one, their sibling was there and the siblings too, and was like the first day the mum was maybe letting the child crawl a little bit around the pool deck, and actually help the parents realize, like, oh, the water safety is not just in the water, right? It's outside of the water too.
Yeah, so that's actually one of the really interesting things that I've seen completely just through our Safe Dry Water program is that a lot of the kiddos, they just get so excited. Everybody loves the water, it's fun. In Seattle, we're surrounded by water, and so on every side of us. And so um, individuals are just drawn to it. And so one of the things that we really want to make sure is that they have that awareness on the pool deck. We also understand that it starts with the parent. So that parent education is key because then they're going to reinforce it. And a lot of the individuals that we serve and a lot of their parents, they may be non-swimmers, and so they just don't know the safe practices. So we want to teach them right off the bat. Don't get in the water under certain circumstances. But the other thing that we really teach as it's on deck to the water is also the adult supervision is key.
Yes.
So that no drowning goes unrecognized because of our smartphones, our smart devices. We're just like sitting there talking. And then we also talk to the kiddos about how they should ask for permission before they get in the
Yes.
water. To tell that adult, like, hey, why don't you put your phone down? And I know that you guys have them. And then we've created a version as well, but like the water watcher badges
Yeah.
that you can give to the parents to say, hey, I'm in charge. And there's some guidelines on the back. And so that's really cool. And then we've also shared some people the app that No More Under has
Yes.
that has like the alarm on it of like, hey, pay attention.
First and foremost, we are so grateful to be working with you and your team. It's been for us an amazing partnership. It really was our first foray, right? You all were the first group that we got in touch with that Tosh called and said, yes, let's do it. So forever grateful. Like, I can't wait to look back 10 years from now and be like, Bellwether Housing. So yeah, I just first want to just say it's been amazing working with you all. And I guess my first question is like, what's been the most memorable thing about getting the swim program up and running for you and for your team?
Yeah. I mean, it's been like great for us as well. This has given us the opportunity to see that we can provide different programs to our residents. So yeah, I mean, thank you to you all as well. I think most memorable would be the one we did at the Rainier Beach Community Center, the spring break one. It just felt like the most impactful one that we did. We got to see the kids every day, the families, all the different swim instructors, and then just seeing the kids. I mean, it was just like, I don't know, it was just incredible. But I think my favorite part is it was like, I think the younger kids were going first, and then like the second crew had just come in, and we were all like lined up by the window just watching all the other kids do their lesson, and they were just so excited not only to be watching but to know like they're next, right? So yeah, just spending time with them and seeing how excited they are, getting to know them and their families more. Yeah, I think that specific session was really memorable to me.
A big part that we were grateful for was you were there every day, and some of your other property managers or site managers were there. And so the families knew you, they'd come in, you helped them mark their attendance down. And that was I think that really helped cultivate that community feel for those and other programs, because you've been present at a lot of them, and we are so thankful for that.
What do you think has been the biggest difference for the families, like as far as taking the lessons or the opportunity?
Yeah, I think their confidence in their kids and believing like their kids can do it. I think a lot of like the fears or insecurities that they have about themselves not knowing how to swim, they kind of project that onto their kids. And so I felt like I saw them be really confident that their kids can do it, that it's safe, and that this is a tool they'll be able to use, not just for them, but then they'll get to teach their kids. Um, as well as I think it brought up this conversation around, how do we, get our kids involved in other programs that are not just, presented to us here and now. So a lot of our families wanted to sign up for more lessons beyond the program we were offering. They wanted to know how to access it and, what that process looked like. And they kind of took ownership of that. And so, yeah, I think that was, really great to see and see that in our residents.
You almost started answering the next question that I was going to ask is, what are you hoping to see more of, or like, where can we all improve? Part of that, which you just identified, is trying to continue offering those opportunities, and happy for you to share more about that, or if you have any other ideas.
Yeah, I think the biggest lesson out of all of this is like, when we provide opportunities to our residents, they will take it. And so thinking about making sure that these programs are accessible. And so, having it be free was like so huge. Being really flexible with their schedule, providing the swimsuits and life jackets, all these different supplies that do cost money, I think was really helpful, and it's something that we want to continue to do moving forward.
I think that's what's been, again, something I've appreciated with you all is the communication between us and, your communication and all of our communication with the families. Just, it's been a give and take and an understanding, and we've just all learned so much from these lessons. And I just am excited to keep learning and doing more lessons and keep going.
When engaging with families and participants, we saw students who had previously been exposed to swim lessons and those who had never touched the water. We saw parents that were grateful for their children receiving the opportunity. And most importantly, we saw children who made progress in their swimming abilities and enhanced water safety knowledge. The Tukwila Pool is excited to continue the partnership with No More Under to continue offering swim lessons with an emphasis on water safety and drowning prevention, to aid in expanding our reach to those that typically do not have the opportunity to participate in water safety programs.